Hey everybody, it's Mr. Greg and the Mister's here in the background, and we're back. So it's been 5 long months since we've been on for submissions for Smorgie Live, and that's just because life's been crazy. We moved into a new house and we've been traveling, and we've just been busy with life and all kinds of stuff. But we're back, so bear with us. We might be a little rusty. Hopefully we don't crash and burn tonight. We're set up here in the media room in our new house, and so it's a little different for us setting up in here. So bear with us. We'll have a little bit of fun. We'll be live. We'll play with the lighting and stuff and see what happens. And so make sure if you're here, tell your friends real fast to come join us. Make sure you're asking lots of questions so we can have a great conversation tonight. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? The doodles are asleep on the floor, but we are here, and we're ready for submissions for Smorgie Live. So we're going to get started. As always, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. We have Jenhart Design, and so somebody tonight's going to win a $25 gift certificate from Jenny at Jenhart Design for her amazing clip art. Our friends at Sado Tech have recently reached out to us and have wanted to have a big part, not only in the Kindergarten Smorgasbord, but also of our Elevate conferences. And so they've donated doorbells, because y'all know I love my wireless doorbell, which we can talk about that later. But Sado Tech is sponsoring us tonight by giving away a wireless doorbell. So yes, somebody will win a wireless doorbell tonight. And our friends at ESGI, who have sponsored every Submissions for Smorgie Live broadcast, are once again sponsoring tonight. And we're giving away 2 one-year licenses to ESGI. So make sure that you're using the promo code Smorgie. Is it backwards for you? No. Okay, because I'm looking at it and it's backwards. I just had a slight moment of panic, like, why are you looking weird? That's what I get for looking at the screen and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, so ESGI, use the promo code Smorgie, and if you sign up by May 15th, you will receive an extended free trial that lasts until August 31st. So instead of the regular 60-day free trial, right now if you use the code Smorgie, you're going to get an extended trial of ESGI until August 31st. So you'll get it for the end of this year, you can play with it over the summer, and you can even use it at the beginning of the year. And that's part of the ESGI Spring Fling 2018. And another really cool part of this Spring Fling is that at the end of your trial, that same code Smorgie will save you $40 off of the subscription price of ESGI. And when you purchase your year of ESGI with the code Smorgie, you're also going to get a free t-shirt. And, hold on, there's more. It's like an infomercial. When you sign up for your extended free trial during the Spring Fling with the code Smorgie, you're also entered into a drawing for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Elevate. So you will get to pick the Elevate location of your choice, and ESGI will send you there and pay for it. So get registered. Go to ESGI, sign up, use the code Smorgie with your and you'll get your extended free trial. You'll get entered into a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Elevate. At the end of your trial, when you pay for your subscription, you can save $40 with the code Smorgie, and you'll get a t-shirt. Hold up. If you're already a subscriber of ESGI, you can also enter the drawing for the all-expense-paid trip by sharing this campaign, this ESGI Spring Fling campaign on social media using the hashtag ESGI Spring Fling. And so if you use the code to get your free trial, you can also share on social media and use that hashtag, and you'll double your chances. So sign up for your 60-day free trial of ESGI, and it'll be extended into August 31st. It'll save you $40 off of your subscription price with the code Smorgie. When you pay for your year, you'll get a free t-shirt, and you'll be entered into a drawing for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to hang out with us at an Elevate conference. So make sure you check it out at the end of the show, of course. And a big shout out to our friends at ESGI for sponsoring us and for this amazing giveaway.
All right, y'all, I know that was a whole lot of information we just threw at you right there. So to break it all down, it's really simple. You're going to enter tonight to win one of 3 prizes. You're either going to win an ESGI 1-year subscription, you're going to win a $25 gift card to Jen Hart Design's Teachers Pay Teacher store, or you're going to win a doorbell. To enter to win those prizes, all you have to do is go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com. You're going to click on the very first blog post, which is Submissions Live, April 2018. Within that blog post, there's a link there. You're going to click that link. You can't miss it. It says click here to enter the giveaway. You're going to enter your email address, and that's how you're going to win. We're going to choose the winners tonight. You must be present to win. So make sure you stay with us, and we will announce those throughout the night as we go.
So the kindergartensmorgasbord.com, and you'll see the link for the blog post, and the raffle copter is within the blog post. So speaking of Elevate, we just got back from Elevate Dallas, which was amazing. There's nothing like spending a Saturday with 250 excited, inspiring, passionate teachers. So we want you all to come and be a part of an Elevate conference. So our Elevate conferences are one-day conferences that are designed to give you research-based, hands-on, practical ideas and strategies and resources for your classroom. They're meant to be inspiring and fun and exciting. And so with your registration, you're going to get 4 sessions, breakfast and lunch. Yeah, we feed you. You'll get a certificate for 7 contact hours, which you can then submit to your admin to get credit if they so choose. There's also a Q&A session at the end, so you can ask me anything. And you also are, now when you register, everyone gets a conference t-shirt. So everybody gets an Elevate conference t-shirt. You get a swag bag full of swag. There are tons of giveaways and prizes. And so make sure you get your tickets. You can go to elevateyourclassroom.com to get registered. We have 3 additional conferences coming up this year. Cincinnati on June 9th. And that's going to be really cool because my family's coming. So you'll get to meet the fam. And Boston on July 21st. And Orlando October 27th. And again, you can go to elevateyourclassroom.com to get the brochures, get all the details, and to get registered and grab your ticket. You're going to want to get your ticket because those tickets are going quickly. They're selling pretty fast, and so you don't want to miss it. And so make sure to head over to elevateyourclassroom.com and get a ticket. So Cincinnati will be June 9th, and then we'll be doing those sessions. Boston will be July 21st, and Orlando will be October 27th. So we hope to see you all at an Elevate conference. And again, it's elevateyourclassroom.com. So that's it.
All right.
We'll go back through all that again later.
All right. So we've got questions piling up on us here.
Good.
First question. What is the tablet you're using during? So for those, before we start on that, one other quick thing. The way this works, we have a lot of new people joining us tonight that haven't attended a Submissions Live before. The way this is going to work is you're going to ask the questions in the chat, and I, the Mr., otherwise known as Jason, will be behind the camera and ask the questions to Greg. He will answer those questions live on video. We will get to as many of them as we can. Those that we don't get to, we'll do a lightning round at the end and try to get them all answered for you. So, starting with the first one. What is the tablet you're using during your sight word lessons?
It's an iPad. And so I think what throws people off is the case. And so in the videos that you see and some of the pictures that you see, these were taken about 2 years ago. It's just an iPad, and it has a yellow case with a handle on it. And so we'll get that link posted on Facebook later for that case, because we've actually had several questions about that case recently. So that's what it is. It's just an iPad. The app that we use is called Big Words. It's available in the App Store. And so that's what you're seeing. It's just an iPad. It's just, I think the yellow case is what makes people wonder what it is.
I think so too. Because we do get that question a lot.
Yeah.
All right, this next question, actually we've had a few questions about sight words. And so just to kind of summarize it all, they want to know how you teach sight words, and let's see, how you teach your sight words, and how you would differentiate that for your students to have a wide variety of ability levels.
So we have, in our district, we have a list of 100 sight words for kindergarten. So we have to master 100 sight words. And we do something called Sight Word 60. So basically the kids are getting 60 plus exposures over the course of the week to the sight words. Brain research says we need about 21 exposures to learn something, retain it, put it in long-term memory, and be able to recall that. So sight word 60 triples that. So it's a very quick process. It's a very quick strategy. And I won't go into a great detail about it, but Monday it's basically reading the words, spelling the words. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're using the words in sentences. Thursday, we do a sight word grid. You can grab those on the Resource Center at thekindergartensmorgasbord.com. And on Friday, we play a game. And so it takes about 5 minutes a day. It's super fast. At the end of the year, my kids, we have about 95% mastery of the sight words. And so it's a very, very effective way to learn sight words. There's also a blog post about it, so you can check out the blog posts and kind of see it in action. But so Monday, it's see the words, read the words, spell the words. Tuesday and Wednesday, sentences. Thursday, the sight word grid. Friday, we play games. And so the differentiation comes in centers and in the sight word grid. So Thursday, the sight word grids are done in small groups. And so the way I pull the groups is I pull the groups based on who needs more help with the sight words that week, who needs less. And so I'm really able to differentiate what we do with the sight word grid on Thursday. And then a big part of the differentiation comes in centers. And so we have tons of center creations on our TKS store at tksstore.com. And so we do, we have simple matching games. We have match the words, build the words, and write the words. And we have spinner games, and we have QR code sight words. So we have tons of resources, not only on the tksstore.com, but also on the blog, some DIY stuff for sight words. So that's really where the differentiation comes in with the sight words. So the sight word 60 is all whole group, except the grids on Thursday, which are small group. So that's how we do sight words, and that's how we differentiate them.
This person actually asked us a pretty good idea. I wanted to know if we could show the sight word grid on the screen.
Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah. So yeah, while Jason's doing that, I can kind of explain it a little bit. So it's just a 4x4 grid, and so it's you're going to get the words are going to be on there 16 times because we do 4 words a week, and the words are on there 4 times. And so the way it works is I have the kids we read all the words to differentiate. Some groups will read them 2 or 3 times because again, it doesn't take but a few seconds. And then I'll say, okay, find the word can. So we'll find the word can, and I'll say, what word can? What word can? Everybody spell can, or so we'll say you. What word? You. Spell you. Y-O-U. You. Then I'll say, color you red. So they're going to find all 4 of the U's, and they're going to color those red. And then I'll say, great job. Find the word up. And so we find up. What word up? What word up? Spell up. Color up green. And so they color all the ups green. And as they're coloring, I'm even going to them and saying, what word, what word, what word. So it's constant repetition of the word. And then those go home on Thursday with the kids to practice.
Okay. So for those of you that may not have saw how I got there, basically you just go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com. You're going to click on Resource Center. And then within the Resource Center, you scroll down and you can see all of Greg's lesson plans here. And within that is the editable template.
Yeah. And so you can download all of my sight word grids, but there's also an editable grid so you can make your own because we all have different sight word lists.
Very good.
And if you want to know more about sight word 60 and get a whole lot more fun stuff to do with it, come join us at Elevate.
Yes. All right. This question is from Becky. Hi, Becky. It's Rebecca Zilberman.
Hi, Becky.
You have so many resources. If I'm starting back at the kindergarten level with 0 resources, which one would you recommend as a good starting point?
That's easy. The TKS Bootcamp bundle. So it's the Bootcamp bundle is a year-long math and literacy curriculum. It's research-based, classroom-proven. It is designed to give the kids the scaffolding and the consistency that they need all year long. And so once you do ABC Bootcamp at the beginning of the year, a number bootcamp, you can do the rest of the boot camps throughout the year. And instead of the kids focusing on learning new procedures or new strategies, they can really focus on the learning. And so it's the Bootcamp bundle. There are 4 different versions. They're all exactly the same, just the themes are different. And so that's what I would recommend if you're starting out. Each of the boot camps contains centers. So you're going to get stuff for whole group instruction, you'll get stuff for small group instruction and intervention, and you're going to get centers. So there really are some all-inclusive products So we have ABC Bootcamp, Word Family Bootcamp, vowels, blends, vowel teams, which my kindergartners are working on right now. And this is the first time we've really done vowel teams. And we've done 5 or 6 vowel teams now. And we run about 90% mastery after a week of vowel teams bootcamp. So again, they're very, very, very good. They're research-based. They're classroom proven. The kids do very well with them, and we have great results. And then we also have number bootcamp, shapes bootcamp, addition bootcamp, and subtraction bootcamp, which we also started subtraction bootcamp today. The really cool thing is that the kids love them. They get super excited about them, which is a big part of the learning. It's keeping them excited and keeping them engaged. And again, that consistency throughout the year. So it saves us time and it helps the kids learn because they can really focus on their learning. So that would be my #1 recommendation, would be the bootcamp bundles.
So we've got several people asking about where to go to enter tonight's giveaways. So I want to show you, while I have the screen pulled up here, really quickly how you can enter tonight's giveaways. So when you go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com, the very first blog post you see right here is Submissions for Smorgie Live, April 2018. You're going to click on that. Going to take you into the blog post. Right here it says click below to enter the giveaway. You're going to click, enter by email, and you're going to enter your email address. And that's it. Enter your email address one time and you're entered for all of tonight's giveaways. So hopefully that will help clear up any confusion for those that are having a hard time understanding how to enter the giveaway. Next question is from, oh wait, let me make sure we don't have any questions about Bootcamp while we're on it. Can you use the Bootcamps for RTI?
Absolutely. They are great for RTI intervention purposes. There are, each of them comes with a student journal, so the students can do their own circle maps, which is great for RTI and intervention. There's also a lot of word building activities included in them, which is also great for intervention. There's writing included, which is great for RTI, so they can absolutely be used for RTI.
All right. Any others about Bootcamp? Can you share your main website link? Unfortunately, we can't share links within the chat. It doesn't allow me to do that. So you just go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com. YouTube does not allow us to share links within the chat for some reason.
Because they don't want you to leave YouTube.
Yes, I guess so. This question is from Josh. Looking for more info on how you run math centers. Do the students work alone or in groups? Is everyone working on a different math area? I wanted to change how I do things.
So our literacy and our math centers run in the exact same way. So if you're familiar with our literacy centers, that's the way that our math centers run. We use the wheel. So the wheel will tell them what their two big choices are for that day. And then of course, within those choices, they have multitudes of other activities they can choose from. And it's really up to them as far as working alone or working with their friends. And so if they want to work with a friend in their group, that's 100% okay. If all 4 or 5 of the kids in the group want to work on the same activity, that's completely up to them too. So it's really about giving them a lot of choice and voice and control of their learning so they can work however they want within their group. They have to be working with the people in their group. And as far as what everybody's working on, everything is differentiated. So the groups are targeted. And so the kids in different groups are working on some different skills, but we're all also working on the same skills. So right now there's a lot of addition and subtraction in our math centers. It just looks different across the groups on how they're practicing it. And that's just a way to differentiate it and target it. And so we have our math baskets, which are kind of the main part of the centers. Then we have Math the Room, which is basically write the room, but now they're counting and they're doing addition and subtraction. We have 10 frames and graphing. So we have our 10 frame cards, which are great for one-to-one correspondence, team numbers, number recognition. And those are all in our online store, the tksstore.com. And also in that, we have our C count graphs that the kids are using. So we do graphing all year long. And then we have, yeah, that's it. So math tubs or math baskets, Math the Room, 10 frames and graphing. And so those are what the kids are doing. The wheel tells them what they can do. And then within those, they have lots of choices. And again, they can work with the group, or they can work by themselves. And so everybody's working on kind of exactly what they need to be working on during that time.
And for more information on the math wheel, you can always go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com and just type in math. Oh, no, sorry, not math wheel. Center wheel. Sorry, I'm typing math over here. You can type center wheel into the search and read all about how the center wheel is made and exactly how Greg uses it in his classroom. Got a couple questions here about incoming kindergarten students and what your expectations are for those students, and if you have any type of screening process for incoming students.
So I'm probably going to get a little backlash for this, but my expectations of incoming kindergartners are that they show up. I'm a big believer that it's my job as the teacher to teach them. So I don't have expectations like I don't think they should know X amount of letters, X amount of numbers, X amount of sounds. I think that's my job, is to teach them. Now, do I want them to know their name? Yes. Do I like them to be able to write their name when they come to kindergarten? Absolutely. Do I hope they know some letters and numbers? Absolutely. But I don't have expectations as far as, certain numbers of things I want them to know. More importantly, I think I want them to also be able to communicate a little bit and, tell me their name, maybe, say please and thank you, those kinds of things. But as far as expectations, I don't really have a lot because, again, I think that's my job. And so my wish list would be, write your name, know your name, even recognize your name, and have some recognition of letters and numbers. As far as screening, we don't really have a formal screening that we do. What we use is ESGI. And so the kids, we don't screen the kids and then place them in classes. Our kids are just placed in our classes. And then what we do at the beginning of the year is we use ESGI and we assess them on their letters, their sounds, their numbers, and their counting. And then that kind of gives us our baseline for the year. And this year, I have to tell this funny story. Jason came in and did our beginning of the year assessments with ESGI, and he said, "Some of them just make noises at you when you're testing them." And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to the beginning of the year kindergarten. You just get some random noises." So no real expectations, but we use ESGI to do our beginning of the year screening, and we try to get that done within the first week or so of school, so we have some really good baseline data.
So a follow-up question on math centers. How long are they? And do you only rotate each day or more than once during math centers?
So both of our centers work the same way. So we do not rotate. The reason is because no matter how fast we are at cleaning up, we still lose valuable instructional time. So the way our centers are structured is that there's really no need to rotate because you never really finish a center. You might finish an activity, but there are a whole lot more activities for you to do. And it's really designed that way because I wanted to eliminate that early finisher problem. So there really is no reason to rotate because they're never going to finish everything, and they have plenty of choice to keep them busy so they don't get bored. So with our math centers, we usually get about 30 minutes or so of math center time. Literacy center is about an hour. But yeah, so we don't rotate. So I turned the wheel this morning, and then when I go in tomorrow, I'll turn the wheels for the next day. That's it.
Another question about math. This is from Linda. Do you use a specific math curriculum, mini lesson, and then do you have them break out to centers or independent work?
All of the above. So we have Go Math as our curriculum, but we're very fortunate in that we are not required to use it. It's considered a resource. We do have a scope and sequence that our district puts out, and that tells us what skills and standards to cover each 9 weeks. So we do follow the scope and sequence. But as far as a curriculum, we don't have to use Go Math. It's just a resource. So we use our Bootcamp curriculum as a big part of our math curriculum. And so, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's we always do some math songs. We do our calendar, which takes about 10 minutes. Then we'll do a whole group lesson, but we don't do a whole group lesson every day because I don't think it's necessary in math, because a lot of times after a couple of days of whole group lessons, it's more important that I pull my kids into small groups and give them some targeted instruction with what we're working on. And then after the whole group, we'll do I'll pull kids in small groups, they'll do independent work, and then go to centers. And so that's kind of how it works. But yeah, not a whole group lesson every single day, because a lot of times that's when you run into, you're missing a lot of kids. If you're doing a whole group lesson, you might hit the kids right here, but you're missing these kids and you're missing these kids. And so you've got two groups that are missing out and they're getting bored and becoming behavior problems. And so whole group lesson a couple days a week, and then the rest of the week, it's really targeted small groups and centers.
I'm trying to decide which direction to go in next. A couple of people have said that the blog post is not showing up for them for some reason. If it doesn't show up, just go to the search and type submissions in the search, and then it will pull up. Not sure why it's not showing up for some people.
Sometimes you need to clear your history.
Yeah,
and that will sometimes fix that.
Yeah.
So while we're figuring that out, again, go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com, click on that Submissions for Smorgie April 2018 link, and you'll see the link to the raffle copter to get entered for our giveaways. So tonight we are giving away a $25 gift certificate from Jen Hart Design, a wireless doorbell from our amazing friends at Sato Tech, and 2 years of ESGI. And again, use the promo code Smorgie for ESGI, and that will give you an extended free trial through August 31st. And then at the end of your free trial, you can save $40 off of your subscription. And when you purchase a subscription, you're going to get a free t-shirt, and you're going to be entered into a drawing. If you use the code Smorgie to sign up for your free trial, use the code Smorgie. You'll also be entered for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to an Elevate conference of your choice. And if you're already a subscriber, you can share the Spring Fling campaign on social media. Use the hashtag ESGI Spring Fling, and you'll be entered into the drawing for an all-expense-paid trip to Elevate. So again, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors for making our first show in 5 months a big success.
Yes.
So far, we're doing good, I think, after being off for 5 months.
We are.
So far.
So next question is from Linda. Teaching anything whole group has been a challenge for me. Suggestions? Do you have an aid? How do you use them?
I do not have an aid.
Closest thing he has to an aid is me.
Yep.
And I do everything from home.
Yeah. So, and as far as in the classroom, no, I do not have an aide or an assistant. And so I'm very lucky that I have Jason, the mister, who does a lot of the prep work for me and does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. But as far as in the classroom, it's just me. This year I have 21 kids. We're 95% EL. We speak 6 different languages in the class. And if you haven't noticed, I'm basically teaching a frat house this year. I have 16 boys and 5 girls. So it's pretty wild and rambunctious in our classroom. And so the thing about whole group lessons is it's really I think a lot of times, and I'm speaking for myself, is that we forget that we're competing with big screens and laptops and phones and gadgets and devices. And so we really have to step it up. Not so much as, big productions and big shows, not so much that, but we really have to sell what we're teaching. And so we have to be excited about it, and we have to be into it. And we have to just really be on our game to keep the kids engaged. And I know this is preaching to the choir, but again, it's a lot of those expectations, really holding the kids to the expectations. Like Jason was there this morning, and he can attest to this. When it was time to do our read aloud for our ocean research project, I actually now, instead of the kids sitting around the circle, I have them all scoot up close to me. So we're all right there together with the writing chart and the book and the thinking map. So we are all right there. And again, that proximity, a little bitty thing, but it makes a huge impact. And again, I think a lot of times we have to, and by we, I mean me, we have to sell it and to step up. And especially at this time of the year, it's really, reinforcing those expectations, setting being consistent, holding strong to the procedures and the routines and the expectations that we've set. And remember, they're 5, and so they're going to be squirrely, and they're gonna move, and we have to keep them engaged and moving. So we do a lot of things during our whole groups, but we'll do it for a few minutes and then we'll shift our bodies and do something else, and we shift our bodies again and do something else. So we cover a whole lot, but we're constantly keeping them moving so they're not just sitting there for the whole time.
All right, so if you have not entered for the giveaway, you need to go and do that right now, because we're actually getting ready to give away our first prize of the evening. So if you've not done that, we're going to answer a couple more questions here real quick, and then we're going to do our first giveaway. So if you've not done so, you need to go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com right now, click on the first blog post titled Submissions, April 2018. That doesn't show up for you, type submissions in the search. It will then pull up, and you're going to go in and enter your email address and the Rafflecopter, and that's all you have to do. Next question. This is a pretty lighthearted one. This is from Amy. I would love to know what you use to get the permanent marker to stay on the eggs for centers.
Y'all, I get this question a lot. We hear this a lot. Nothing. Like, I just write on them with the Sharpies and the permanent markers. And so I don't know. Who knows? But we've just been very lucky. I don't do anything special to them, so knock on wood. We've just been very lucky. But I've heard people suggest hairspray, the aerosol hairspray, and clear fingernail polish will help. So yeah, I don't know. We've just been very lucky that ours doesn't rub off. Hopefully that continues.
Another question is, what printer would you recommend?
So we actually have two. We have a laser printer that we use to print all of our creations and all of our centers, hippopotamuses, all of that stuff. And it's an HP. It was an HP LaserJet.
Yeah.
So we just got a new one, but it's still the HP LaserJet.
Yeah. That's so it's a different model. I think the model they were making, they don't make anymore.
Yeah. So we use that. And LaserJets are great because the print quality is amazing. The ink in the long run is more cost effective. It's a little more pricey up front when you buy the toner, but long term it's much more cost effective. Then in my office I have just an HP Office Jet inkjet printer that I use for printing stuff for like the charts, the boot camps, those kinds of things. So I just have that one in my office.
So some people are still having a hard time with the blog post for some reason, and I have no idea why. We've got 74 entries so far so 74 people have entered. The giveaway. When you go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com, there it is on the left-hand side, the very first blog post. If it doesn't pull up for you right there, like it should, then you can always go right here to the search and type submissions. It's going to take a second and search through all of our blog posts, and then they're all going to pull up. So you can just click on April 2018. Just make sure spelling submissions correct. If not, it's going to tell you there's no matches. And so we're up to 83 now. So since people are having a hard time, we'll give it till the full time, the 10 minutes. We'll do all the giveaways toward the end. We like to do some a little earlier, but because we're having a hard time tonight for some reason, we'll give it a little longer. So again, hopefully you're able to follow what I did just there so that everyone can go and get entered for the giveaways. If it doesn't pull up when you first go to the blog, you're just going to go here to the search and type submissions. Double check your spelling, because I've had some people say that it's not pulling up when they type in submissions, but it will. There's no reason for it not to do that part unless it's spelled wrong. So type in submissions, hit enter, and all of our blog posts that have the word submissions will pull up, and you're going to choose the very first one. Once you do that, you're going to go into the blog post, you're going to scroll down, and you're going to enter your email address right here. All right, so let's do a few more questions.
Okay.
while we wait for everyone to get entered.
Again, it's the kindergartensmorgasbord.com.
You only need to enter one time, Linda. If you can enter multiple times, but it's not going to do any good because it's going to already count you as entered. So it's kind of pointless for you to do it again. All right, question is from Liberty. When assessing with ESGI, do you always assess and cover all words, or do you only assess the unknown words? So let's go back to the slide word 60.
So I only do the words that they missed, just to save time. So that's kind of how I do it. Only the missed words. Then, so what I've done on ESGI with sight words is I have 4 different tests, 1 for each 9 weeks, and then I have a 5th one, which is all 100 words. And so at the end of each 9 weeks, I'll test, that 9 weeks, and then I'll also go back and test all the previous 9 weeks. And at this point in the year, I'm also using that 100 words assessment. So we're really assessing all of the words. It's just, it just tweaked it a little bit on how we do it. And so, yeah, only do the missed words.
All right. Next question is from Michelle. What do you do for behavior incentives?
We have a trampoline, and that's it. So I've really progressed through behavior and classroom management. I've been at schools that did PBIS. We did the tickets, the dollars, and we had incentives and parties, and we went through the clip chart, which you've heard me say I think they can be used very effectively in a classroom. And I've really come to the point now where we don't have any rules in our classroom. We don't have a treasure box. We don't have incentives. Our role is to be your best, and everything else is based on relationships, routines, procedures, and expectations. The only behavior incentive we have is to do your best, and you get to jump on the trampoline sometimes. So if the kids, if I see somebody, get up and help somebody, oh, I love that you helped them clean up, get 10 bounces. Or thank you for using your manners, get 10 bounces. Or, oh my gosh, that was an excellent answer, get 10 bounces. Or, oh, thank you for listening, get 10 bounces. So that's really the only behavior incentive we have, is physical kind of thing, is that trampoline. Everything else is just about doing your best and being recognized for doing a good job every day.
This next one is from Brittany. Do you have any other phonics programs from your district, or do you only use Bootcamp?
We only use Bootcamp. So our district requires us to do 20 minutes of explicit phonics instruction every day. And we had the option of doing journeys for phonics, or we could use any other phonics program that met some requirements that our district had. And the Bootcamp curriculums meet those requirements. And what we found is that Bootcamp is actually more rigorous and moves a little bit faster than some of the other curriculums like Journeys. And so we've been fortunate that we can use Bootcamp as our phonics curriculum.
This next question is from Miss Kindergarten. Besides write the room, how else do you incorporate writing? Such as more so. Besides write the room, how else do you incorporate writing? More so complete sentences on their own.
So we do Writer's Workshop, and we use Writing Through the Year from Deanna Jump and Dee Dee Wills as kind of our writing curriculum. So that's really how we teach writing. And it's lots of explicit modeling. We also do our research projects, which are another key part of our curriculum. So we do our science and social studies research projects, which also incorporate a lot of writing. So they're also getting a lot of writing practice with the research projects.
This question is from Felice. What lesson would you teach for an interview model lesson?
Ooh, that's hard. It really depends on what the kids are currently learning, kind of where they are in the year, what standards they're doing. So I would kind of ask for that information, maybe get an idea of what they're doing right now as far as standards and curriculum, and then base a lesson off of that and try to make it hands-on. If it's math, make sure it's really concrete. If you're doing a read aloud, pick a read aloud that could be an interactive read aloud so the kids can participate. Yeah, it's kind of dependent on the standards, kind of where they are at that particular school and that class that you're going to be modeling in.
Questions from Jessica. What would you suggest for those kids who are struggling with addition and subtraction fluency?
Lots and lots and lots of practice. So we do the boot camps, and one of the things that we do with the boot camps to build fluency is after we do the circle map, we actually go back through and as a whole group, we read all of the equations. And sometimes I'll do it 2 or 3 times. So like today we did subtraction boot camp for 0. So we had all of our equations on the circle map, and then we just went back through them and said 5 minus 5 equals 0, 8 minus 8 equals 0. Just that repetition to get it into their minds. We also have a resource called Flash. It's on our TKS store, and it's really meant to practice fluency, to kind of get the kids more fluent and to kind of help them speed up with their addition and subtraction. But it's lots and lots of practice.
From Crystal, what do you do for guided reading groups?
So we kind of follow Jan Richardson, and Fountas and Pinnell are the 2 that our district uses. So we kind of follow their guided reading plans and models. I use Reading A to Z for my books. I'm a huge fan of Reading A to Z because I like that I can go on there and grab books that I need. If I need to send books home, I can do that. So we always kind of start with a sight word review. And what I do is I pull out some of the sight words out of the books. We practice those. Then we do not necessarily a picture walk, but it's more of kind of a very guided picture walk. So, I'll point out some things in the story that I know my kids are not going to recognize or understand, and we'll talk about those. Point out some tricky words that they're not going to be able to figure out with their sounds or the pictures. And then we read. And so we do, the kids are reading on their own, and I'm moving from child to child, listening to them read, giving them some help if they need it, reminding them of their strategies. And then at the end, we'll do a little bit of comprehension, and we'll focus on, some kind of reading strategy to help them. And then at the end, we do a little bit of word work, which is tied into what we're working on in phonics with our boot camps. So right now we're doing ER, UR, and IR words. So we've been doing some word building, we've been doing some word writing, and we do a lot of practice with blending of our sounds into words, because my kids have struggled with that this year a little bit. So that's kind of our guided reading.
From Patricia, do you have a scope and sequence?
Yes, our district puts out a scope and sequence that we follow. It's done by 9 weeks. It tells us what skills and standards to teach. It has some themes in there that they like us to do. And we have some required anchor texts that we also read during the 9 weeks. Same with math. There's a scope and sequence with the skills and standards.
So before we do our first giveaway, hopefully everyone is entered now because the giveaway is closing right now as we speak. Jody wants to know, of all your bootcamp themes, what is your favorite to teach? So my favorite is the Army theme. And that's because that was the first one. That was the original ABC bootcamp. That's kind of my baby. That's where it all started. And so that's why I always pick the Army theme, just because, and it's boot camp. And so it's, it's the whole military Army theme. You can have a lot of fun with it. So that's my favorite. But I think, is Monster or Superhero was our best seller? Monster.
Yeah, so Monster's the most popular with everyone else, but mine is the Army.
I think it goes back and forth between Monster and Army being the top seller. So it's either Monster's top and Army second, or vice versa. It kind of flips back and forth, and then Superhero comes in third. All right, so our first giveaway tonight is going to be for a free year subscription to ESGI. So remember that if you don't already have ESGI, you can get the extended trial as long as you sign up by May 15th by using the code Smorgie. You'll still save $40. And you will also get a free t-shirt when you actually subscribe at the end of your trial period. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do, this is what you get. If you don't, question would be why not? Because you're really
once you start using it, you're going to absolutely love it. It is phenomenal. It's a one-on-one assessment tool. It's very, very fast. It'll save you tons of time with assessment and data. You get instant results. You get student detail reports that have all of their assessments, their growth. You get personalized flashcards and parent letters to go home. My favorite report that I use is the item analysis. So I use it for sight words. So it shows you the most missed sight words. And so it really helps me target my sight word centers. So I'm really targeting the words that we're missing the most. It's phenomenal. It's my #1 classroom must-have tool. I've been blessed to use it for years, and I absolutely swear by it.
All right, so our first winner, and remember, you have to be present in the chat to win. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to call your name. When I call your name, you need to type here in the chat to let me know that you're here. So the winner is Kara Moir, M-O-I-R, Kara Moir,
M-O-I-R.
M-O-I-R. Kara Moore, if you are here, please type here in the chat because you've won 1 free year to ESGI software.
Woo! And we'll give you a couple seconds because we know there's a delay. So Kara Moore, M-O-I-R.
So we're waiting for Kara. We'll give her just a little bit to say that she's here. If we don't hear from her, we're going to move on and draw another name. That's something that we've learned over the last couple of years doing this. We kind of just have to move on because sometimes people are here, but they're not in the chat. So we try to make sure everyone knows that you have to be in the chat and you have to be able to type back to us in order to win. So Kara, give you just a couple more seconds here.
Come on, Kara.
Get back to us.
M-O-I-R, Kara Moore.
Just need you to type here in the chat if you're here. All right, Kara has not answered, so we're going to move on. Elizabeth Morissette. Elizabeth Morissette. If you are here, please type here in the chat. You have won 1 free year subscription to ESGI.
Woo-woo!
We didn't call for Yenny. Someone just said Yenny is here. Yenny is not the winner. We were looking for Kara. Now we are looking for Elizabeth. Elizabeth Morissette. Are you here? Elizabeth Morissette. If you're here, I just need you to type here in the chat. All right, Elizabeth, we're going to give you just a few more seconds. We're going to go on and draw the next name. Hi, Aunt Lori and Allison. They're both watching.
Hi, Aunt Lori. Hi, Allison.
Elizabeth Morissette, you have 10 seconds to type here in the chat.
If y'all come to Elevate Cincinnati, you'll get to meet Aunt Lori.
So for those of you, and we know there's a little bit of a delay in the video, so I also type it in the chat so that everyone can see it immediately as soon as the name is drawn. So there's not a delay in the chat. All right, we're going to move on. Looks like Elizabeth is not here either. How about Jill Hembroff? Jill Hembroff, come on down. Jill Hembroff, if you're here, you've won a 1-year subscription to ESGI. If you are here, please type here in the chat. Jill Hembroff, Hembroff. Jill, you're here.
Yay!
Yay, congratulations. Jill. I got you. All right, Jill, so we will be in touch with you on how to claim your prize from ESGI. How about we go ahead and do the others? It's $7.50.
Yeah, we'll go ahead
and
just
keep on going?
Yeah.
Let's see if Kara or Elizabeth have happened to chime in yet. Nope. Looks like they've both left us.
They got tired of us. So sad.
All right. So when are you going to do another year of ESGI?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Another ESGI winner. It's a $200 value. Is Carrie Jones. Carrie Jones, are you here? Carrie Jones, if you're here, please type here in the chat because you have won a 1-year subscription to ESGI software. That's a $200 value. Carrie Jones is here.
Yay, congratulations.
All right, so Carrie, I will be in touch with both you and Jill to let you know what to do to claim your prize with ESGI. We will send you an email. I have your email address. No, we haven't sent Jenny. Jenny keeps saying, I'm here. And then she said, I think I heard you say Jenny. No, not yet. But you never know. All right, so shall we move on?
Yep. And
let's do the doorbell.
Yay. Y'all know I love my wireless doorbell. It's my favorite classroom management tool. You get it on Amazon. It's from Sadotech. They're the ones I highly recommend. I've used the Sadotech brand for years. They come in fun colors. This year, because I'm in the frat house, I upgraded to the Sadotech model with the 2 speakers. So I have one in the front of the room and one in the back of the room because I got to be louder than the frat boys. And so anytime I need my kids' attention, I just ring the doorbell. I always have the button clipped onto my shirt or my lanyard. So it's always with me. And I actually had some questions recently about what makes it better than a bell or a chime. The convenience is what makes it better. Because I always have that button clipped on me. And so I don't have to run back to my desk or my table and ring a bell or a chime. I just have that button and I hit that button. The doorbell rings. The kids stop. They put their hands down. They look at me. So that's why I love it. That's what makes it better than a bell. And the Sadotech ones come with like 50 different chimes. So you can change the chime to keep it fresh and new. And if you're like me, I have a little boy named Xavier who wanders into the classroom in the mornings or after school and changes the chime, and we never know what noise is going to come out of our doorbell. So thank you to Sadotech for sponsoring and giving somebody a wireless doorbell.
And the winner is Cindy Miroshine. Mirochine. Cindy Miroshine, if you're here, please type here in the chat and claim your doorbell. Cindy's here.
Yay, congratulations, Cindy.
Congrats, Cindy. So we'll be in touch to get your address so I can send you your doorbell. And last but certainly not least is a $25 gift certificate to Jen Hart Designs Teachers Pay Teacher Store.
Jenny has amazing clip art. My favorite clip art that she does is she does the mega bundles. And so you get really cute, really fun clip art that you can use. There's letters and numbers and tin frames and shapes and all kinds of great stuff. She also has these really cute ones that she did recently. Not remember what she calls them, but they're pairs. So it's I think what are some of them that she's done. I just saw new ones today. She did records and a record player, which I thought those were super cute. I think. What are some of the other pairs that I've seen? Oh my gosh. Probably drawing a blank. But those are really, really, really fun for centers. They make really cool matching games. So you can check out Jen Hart Design on TPT and get some really awesome clip art.
So the winner is Christina Vinrick. Christina Vinrick, if you're here, please type here in the chat to claim your $25 gift certificate to Jen Hart Designs Teachers Pay Teacher Store. Carla, she wanted to know, how do you enter the other giveaways? Carla, you only enter one time and you're entered for all of them. So you just enter your email address one time and you're automatically entered for all of the giveaways that we did tonight. So if you put your email address in once, then you are good to go. Christina Vendrick's here.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
All right, Christina, so we will be in touch to let you know how to claim your prize from Genhart Design. So for all 4 of our winners tonight, you will receive an email from me at kindersmorgie@gmail.com. So Jill, Carrie, Cindy, and Christina, you'll be receiving emails from me on how to claim all of your prizes tonight.
Congratulations to all of our winners. And again, a huge thank you to our sponsors, ESGI, Genhart Design, and Sato Tech Wireless Doorbells for sponsoring tonight's submissions for Smorgie Live.
All right, so we have a ton of questions we still haven't gotten to yet, and it's almost 8 o'clock, which is our wrap-up time, 8 o'clock Central, that is. So it's time for the lightning round. The way this works is I'm going to ask the question, Greg's going to answer the question as simply and as quickly as he can, and we're going to move on to the next question. So if you've asked a question tonight, unless you've done it within the last little bit while I've been doing the giveaways, I have your questions here. I've got them all compiled, and I'm going to ask them now. First question is from Carol. Do you have any district-mandated programs or only your own materials?
So we have Journeys and Go Math as our curriculum, but they're both considered resources. We do have a scope and sequence that we follow, and we have the freedom to use other things as well.
From Jean, my kids love your supertizing videos. We picked the Halloween one today. What are the tally marks made of? We were super curious, and I told them I would ask you.
I honestly cannot remember, so I'll have to look, and then, yeah, I have no idea.
From Julia, what resources, websites, etc. do you use to meet technology goals, specifically for students to create rather than consume, such as games?
We don't. We have very, very, very limited access to technology in our classroom. We've really cut back on the technology, so we don't do a lot of creating. We do green screen, a lot of green screen in our class, so the kids can create some of that fun green screen technology, but that's about it.
Another one from Jean. What's your favorite STEM activity?
Stacking cups. The kids go bonkers for the stacking cups, and so I incorporate stacking cups into all kinds of our skills to give the kids the academic practice and the STEM. And we do mad science experiments every Thursday, so we do a lot of hands-on science experiments in our classroom as well.
I know I'm going to butcher this name. I think it's Relaine. Do you send home homework?
I do not. Research says it's not effective for our kids. We work them so incredibly hard in the classroom. I believe they should go home and play and be kids.
From Beth, how do you keep the kids who know their letters already engaged in boot camp?
With ABC Bootcamp, the big draw of ABC Bootcamp, especially for the kids who already know their letters, are the circle maps and getting to generate the words for the circle maps. So you really want to get them involved, get them coming up with the words, and then drawing the pictures and making it fun and silly and having a great time with it. Don't be afraid to make fun of your own drawings and pictures. You know, be silly, you know, really sell it and get them involved and come up with as many words and pictures as you can.
From Sarah, what reading programs do you use? I think we already answered that one.
Yeah, Journeys.
From Library Joy, how much time do you give for free choice and what are your favorite options?
So, I'm assuming they kind of mean centers. We don't have the option of free choice and play centers. So all of ours have to be academic, which is why the classroom is structured the way it is. So the kids really have all of the choice and the control over what they're working on and what they're doing. And that's why we try to make everything as fun as possible. They're up and moving constantly. They're dancing. They're working on stuff with their friends. They're talking. They're conversing. So that's kind of how we compensate for not being able to have those free choice centers.
From Courtney, do you level your guided reading groups by using font? I don't know how to pronounce it. Fountas and Pinnell, yes. Or by interest?
Fountas and Pinnell is how we do our reading groups. So they're leveled reading groups.
From Julia, how do you deal with serious behavior issues? For example, I've had a student threaten to kill another, choke them, etc. I have several that have behaviors and I've been going nuts trying.
My number one thing is to get admin involved and to document every single thing. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know how hard it is. But get admin involved and raise that safety issue, that it's a safety issue for the other students, and hold admin accountable and don't back off. If the behaviors are happening, call for help, document it, send an email, make sure there's a paper trail, get the parents and families involved if you can. But I always, when they're those serious, you have to get admin involved as much as you possibly can.
From Becky, do you have a blog post or information about the day you invite parents into the room for the morning?
Yes, it's called Bring Your Family to School Day, and there is a blog post that explains how that works.
From Deborah, I get overwhelmed planning for the year. How do you plan for the year? What suggestions do you have?
We start with our district scope and sequence, and then we kind of map out our themes for the year. And, because those are all kind of, they happen kind of naturally, beginning of the year. And then, we'll talk about families and myself and communities. And then, October, we're doing pumpkins. So we kind of map out our themes and then make sure they're lined up with our scope and sequence. And then we can start plugging in the standards. So we kind of work backwards. You can go on the resource center at thekindergartensmorgasbord.com, and you can actually access our big picture, which is our year-long plan, to kind of see how we map out the year.
From Laura, what guided reading level are your students expected to be on by the end of the year?
They're expected to be at a D, and we use Fountas and Pinnell.
From Jody, so I came back from Elevate to announce that I didn't want desk anymore. Boss is in. The team thinks I'm nuts. How do you deal with naysayers on your team?
Don't let them stop you. Honestly, even when I first did it, Jason even thought I was crazy.
Sure did.
So you just have to go for it. If the admin is supporting you, go for it. Remember, it's your classroom and it's your kids. And the only way you're going to convince them that you're not crazy is by doing it and showing them that it's successful. So I know that's hard, but go for it. And just do what you know is right and what's best for your classroom, and don't let them stop you.
From Hey, Jesse. I know you have videos on your blog of ABC Bootcamp and Word Family Bootcamp and Addition and Subtraction Bootcamp. Is there. Wait, I'm sorry. There was no punctuation here, so it's hard for me to follow the question. So basically, Jesse's wanting to know if there are any videos of Blends and Val Teams Bootcamp.
I think there is a Blends. And I haven't done one on Val Teams yet because we've been working through it. But I do have some videos. I just need to do a blog post. So there's definitely, for everything else, Val Teams will be coming soon.
From Amy, do you use a release form for the trampoline?
Nope. Here's the reason why. I don't have to get a release form for the gym. I don't have a release form for the playground. And so I don't need one for the trampoline.
From Marina, what do you do for comprehension besides modeling and think aloud?
We do a lot of story maps. We do a lot of thinking maps, tree maps, circle maps for main idea. We do a lot of T-charts for cause and effect, a lot of flow maps for sequencing, lots of comparing and contrasting. We have our Read It Up creations in our TTS store, have a lot of good comprehension activities in those. So it really kind of depends on the book and where we are in the year and what skills we're working on.
From Brittany, do you have videos of you teaching small groups?
I do. There's some on YouTube and on the blog. And I know that's something people are asking for a lot, so that's something we're going to try to get more of.
From Jennifer, I'm taking a leap and trying flexible seating next year, getting rid of half my tables to start. I know you only have a table or two, but do students sit at a table to practice letter formations?
They do not. They sit on the floor with their clipboards. And so we teach them to lay on their stomachs because there's research from occupational therapists and physical therapists that laying on their stomach is really good for handwriting, builds up those core muscles and forces them to use the muscles in their hands and fingers more appropriately.
From Rainey, I know you do flexible seating, but have you ever had a group you feel flexible seating doesn't seem the right option for?
I have not. So this is 7 years of flexible seating, and if I have a feeling if it were going to be any year, it would have been this year with all the boys, but it's been fantastic.
From Patricia, do you have AIS providers push in or pull out from your room?
Not sure what AIS means.
Earlier, someone asked RTI/AIS.
Okay, so interventionist. So we do. Some kids get pulled out for intervention, depending on what tier they're in. And then kids with IEPs get pulled out a couple of times. But I'm EL certified, so I get to keep all of my EL students, so they don't get pulled out for that. So I do have a few that get pulled out every now and then.
Last 2 questions. This one's from Deborah. What are the consequences for a student that refuses to do any work during centers or are disruptive on the carpet?
So if it's during centers, they get 1 warning, and if they're still not working, they clean up. They get a paper, pencil, and a clipboard. If it's during literacy centers, they have to write sight words. Excuse me. If it's math, they have to write their numbers to 100. That's very effective because they don't want to be isolated from the class. They don't want to miss out on all the fun centers. So that's really effective. We also use take a break, so we utilize that. Same on the carpet, take a break, and they get removed. And then I talk to them. I use my body as, if they're being disruptive on the carpet, I'll move and stand beside them. Those kinds of things. Those are kind of how we handle it.
The last question is from Miss Kindergarten. She wants to know your favorite teacher trick or tip other than glue sponges.
Oh, that's a tough one. Favorite teacher trick other than glue sponges? Oh, here we go. Let it go. That has become my new mantra. Let it go. We can't control everything that's happening. We can't control what's happening outside of our classroom. And a lot of times we get caught up in the little things going on in our classroom and we escalate them into things that don't need to be escalated. And so you have to learn to just let things go. Especially this year with all of the boys. I've really had to let a lot of boy behaviors go. Otherwise, I'd spend all day putting out fires with the boys. So we let it go. Not everything has to be an episode, and not everything needs our attention. Because most of the time, it's going to work itself out if we just step back and let the kids figure it out on their own. So let it go.
That was the last question.
All right. So again, check out elevateyourclassroom.com and go ahead and join us. We would love to have you all join us for one of our Elevate conferences. So we're going to be in Cincinnati on June 9th. You can hang out with us and the family. We'll be in Boston on July 21st, and we'll be in Orlando on October 27th. So you can head over to elevateyourclassroom.com. You can check out all of the cities, and you can get the brochures and all the details and information, and you can purchase your ticket right there on the website. And again, I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about it, go for it, because tickets are going pretty fast. So you don't want to miss out on your chance to join us at Elevate. And again, the kindergartensmorgasbord.com. You can hit that search bar and search for whatever you want, and you'll probably find a blog post. And the tksstore.com, check out all of our creations. We mentioned the Bootcamp curriculum, Mad Science. We mentioned the research projects, centers, sight word activities. So check out the tksstore.com. I think that's it. Yep. So I know it's the end of the year. I know we're all pushing towards the finish line. I know it gets kind of hectic and stressful at this time. So just remember to keep the focus on the kids. Keep having fun. Make the most of every single day. And know that you're making a difference in the lives of your students. And that we appreciate everything that you're doing. And to our friends in Oklahoma and Kentucky and West Virginia, Arizona, just know that we are standing with you, and we support you 100%. And thank you for standing up for what's best for your students and our profession. So keep up the good work. We're here if you need us. Reach out if you have questions, if we can help you. And make the end of the school year an amazing last few weeks for yourself and your kids. And thank you for all you do. And thanks for joining us for submissions for Smorgie Live for the first time in 5 months. So hopefully we will now be back on schedule, and we'll see you all next month for the next submissions for Smorgie Live. Bye, everybody.